common questions in writing task 1 is line graph. Of course, it's something like very common, and we can say that we often have some questions related to line graph in part 1. Okay, and today we're going to talk about it, the structure of writing task 1 for line graphs and how to write it. And of course, we do a sample together. Well, let me share my screen. Okay. Well, and first of all, okay. Okay, just Georgia actually made the most important words that you need to write. Okay, you need to use to write for, about graphs. Of course, not only for graphs, but we can say that we can use them. For example, as I told you before, in process diagram we have different words, different vocabulary, but here we have different verbs and and adverbs that you need to use in order to write your essay. So as you can see, some verbs and nouns, so that means go down, go up, no change when, for example, diagram has constant change or the position. Okay, so we will discuss them later. First of all, let's talk about this type of diagram. Okay, as you can see, graph, okay, or line graph, as you can see, this one is a line graph, an example of line graph, and include 2 lines. Of course, we don't have, this one is really easy one. Just I want to explain how to write the structure of this type of graph so that I chose an easy one. But of course, normally we have more than 2 or 3 lines. So as you can see, first of all, let's talk about different parts of this diagram. So we have 2 axes, as you can see, horizontal and vertical axes, and each of them includes some information, indicates some information. And we have lines, and as you can see, each line is related to one topic and numbers, okay? And as you can see, we have the title. What is the graph about? So, and what does it show here, and what we need to do, okay, instructions. So what do we need to do? So we need to summarize the information and write at least 150 words. For task 1, as you know, we need to write an essay at least 150 words. Okay. Well, so first of all, let's see and let's talk about the structure. We can say that in writing task 1, we normally follow the same structure. So it's introduction, overview, and main body. So we have mainly 4 paragraphs. The first one is introduction, after that overview, and 2 main bodies. And yeah, so they're the same. Normally we have the same structure. And now how to write and how to analyze the question. That is really important. The first step is to analyze the question. Actually, the format of every academic task 1 question is the same. But we need to practice, okay? And we need to practice, learn the words, phrases, vocabulary that we need to write. Here, for example, the graph below shows radio and television audiences throughout the day in 1992. Okay, what is the instruction? What should we do? We need to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features. Okay, what are main features? The first point, the most important point. we don't need to write everything. Just pick 2 or 3 main features and write about them. Don't write about everything in your essay. It's not essential. Well, every question consists of a brief description of the graph and instruction, as I told you, and the graphic. The graphic is chart, or for example, graph or table, etc. So different types, bar chart, for example, bars. So every question consists of 3 sentences. So sentence one, a brief description of the graphic. What is that? And sentence 2, the instruction, what you need to do. And after that, the graphic. If it's chart, if it's graph, table, process, what is that? Now, we must actually do 3 things. First of all, select the main features. I will tell you how to select the main features. Write about the main features and compare the main features. Select, write, compare. Okay? But what are main features? As I told you, the most important thing in writing task 1, don't have to write about everything. Just pick out 2 or 3 features and you will have plenty to write about. So, step 2, how to identify the main features. Okay, I'm going to write some questions on the board because there are actually the question that you need to answer in order to write. If you answer these questions, actually you can find your main features. The first one, what information do the 2 axes give? First thing that you need to know. And after that, what are the units of measurements? Okay, so you need to know. And what are the time periods? And what can you learn from the title and any labels? So this one, okay. And after that, that's really important. What is the most obvious trend? Are there any notable similarities? So there's some questions and we need to answer these questions, in our mind in order to, as I told you, so first of all, plan it, how to write. Try to find some words that are actually suitable, appropriate for writing. Answer this question in your mind. Okay, so what information, time period, title, the most obvious trend. Okay, so if we answer them, we can easily write about main features. For example, let's practice this one together. Okay, what are main features? Okay, let's have a look at this one. Okay, I don't need it. So okay, look. What are the main features you think in this sample? The most important thing that you can easily see. Maybe the highest point.
I don't know, the pursuit
Step.
of the two
Yeah.
was television and radio.
Yeah. So, okay, when actually I'm looking at these two lines, okay, and the first thing that draw my attention, this point and this point, I think. So I can see the highest, actually the top level and the highest point of these two line graphs. Do you agree? For example, if I want to check this part, all the same, this part, no. So the first thing that draws my attention is this and this point. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I divide my main features into two parts. Why two parts? Because I have radio and television. So I write main feature one. Okay, what is main feature one? The peak time. So the peak time for TV audiences is when TV is,
8 p.m.
of course, but we don't say 8 p.m. Of course, you can say 8 p.m., but it's better, for example, to say is in the evening. Okay, that is 8 p.m. Okay, I only want to find the main feature. Okay, now main feature two, exactly the same.
Okay.
So the peak time for, okay, radio audiences is when,
Is in the morning.
that's it, it's in the morning. Okay, and now that is about 8 a.m. Well, so there are my two main features. That's it. So for main features, actually, you need to pay attention to the maybe the most important, the significant, okay, trend is something like, now you need to pay attention to the general trends. The general trends you will select actually will be the starting point for your essay. So that's really important how to choose. So first of all, you find your general trend and after that you add details. Okay, and with, that we have with just 20 minutes load for task one and requirement of about 150 words. So we won't be able to include many details. So this one is really important. The first and the most important, find the main features and write about them. Don't give extra information. Okay, well, this is about the first one. And now, as I told you, okay, we have introduction, and overview, main body, how to write. Now we're gonna write our introduction. Okay, let's write the first paragraph. Introduction. Okay, you help me to write. As I told you, remember, I told you, I explained how to write our introduction. We need to paraphrase the question. So you help me to write the introduction for this graph. How to write it? First of all, let me help you. Just let me underline the keywords. Show. And you can find something else like the graph. Okay. And well, audience. Okay. And when, where. Okay. So say. Let's write.
The line graph below.
Yeah. The line graph. Okay, below is not necessary here because, you know, we have it in question. So just the line graph. Yeah. So let me write. Okay. The line graph. Well, the line graph what? Okay, what can I use instead of shows?
Display something.
Illustrate.
Demonstrate.
Yeah, of course, illustrate, demonstrate, depict, so all them. So there are different words as we discussed before. Illustrate, demonstrate, depict, so all them means show. Yeah, of course. So the line graph illustrates. Okay, illustrate what? Radio and television audiences. I want to change it. I want to paraphrase it. How to paraphrase it?
Radio and television.
What is the meaning of audience? A person who watch TV, a person who listen to the radio. Yeah. So let's get help from actually this. Okay, vertical X. So as you can see, I have a percentage of UK population. So we can say, okay, the line graph illustrate what? The, okay, a proportion or percentage. Percentage is not really good. So instead of percentage, I say proportion. The number of people. Proportion, okay, proportion of people were in the UK. In the UK, okay, so what? Who? It's in 1992, so it's better to use past. Who watched TV and listened to the radio. Okay, to the radio throughout the day. Okay, what's all the phrase I can use for throughout the day?
In a day.
Yeah, but we can say in the day. I don't want to repeat day. Let's change it to hours. What do you think?
In 24 hours.
Yeah, of course, but in, no, over. Over 24 hours, okay. And when, here, when, from October to
December.
From, of course, October to, of course, you need to write completely, just, you know, I'm writing short form, but you need to write completely. October to December, yeah. When? Okay,
1992.
That's it. This is my introduction. Okay, so I only change the words. The line graph illustrates the proportion, the percentage of people were in the UK. Okay, so what did they do? They watch TV and listen to the radio, and during the day, 24 hours. I don't want to repeat the day, so say 24 hours, and went from October to December 1992. So this is my introduction. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
So actually, this is all you need to do for the introduction. That's really easy. Okay, but the most important part of your essay, overview, that is definitely important, really important. Okay, so do you remember that we discussed and we wrote main features, peak time for TV audiences, peak time for radio audiences. So now I need them. Now, in introduction, I don't need my main features. In my overview, I need them. So the second paragraph, that is overview. You should report the main features you can see in the graph, giving only general information. No figures, no details. Details come later in the essay, okay? You should
Okay.
also make any clear comparison you spot. So let's see how to write it. Well, okay, let's write. We normally begin our overview with overall. Of course, there are different words that I will teach you one by one, but here I want to choose overall. Well, overall, but what? Let's have a look at my main features. Main feature 1, main feature 2. Okay, and now let's see how to write it. Okay. So how to write these two main features? Could you help me?
Um, the peak time for TV audience in the evening is much, I don't know, higher than the
Very
peak
good.
for the
Yeah,
radio audience.
that was really good. Yeah, you could find it. Yeah, of course. That's really important. This one and this one. There is a significant actually difference, yeah? So let's write it. But how to write it? I write this. Overall, I need an adverb here. When it comes to the actually very big, important, big change, or for example, maybe difference, I can use significant. Significantly, as you said high, I see greater.
Okay.
Greater, okay, greater what? Percentage, yeah?
Yeah.
Percentage of the TV audiences. Now I don't need to paraphrase again because I paraphrased them in my introduction. So it's okay. Now I can repeat the words. I can use the same words. So percentage of the TV audiences, okay, watched when in the evening, yeah?
Yeah.
But, okay, and now we're gonna talk about radio. While radio had the most listeners in the morning. Why didn't I use the same sentence didn't I write this? Because I don't want to repeat. Again, I say, for example, while, for example, the significantly greater percentage of the, I don't want to write again. So I change it. I say, while, for example, radio had the most listeners in the morning. Now, I want to compare them. So I can say in 24 hours. So over, type it here, over the course of each day and night. Can you see time of day or night? Day and night, more people. I want to compare. Okay, more people watch TV or listen to the radio?
Watching TV.
Of course, watched TV comparison, then listened to the radio. This is my overview. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, just, easily, you can easily write, but you need to pay attention. Okay, I found my main features. I don't want to repeat them again, so let's change them. I don't say the peak time. If you say it's okay, if you say the peak time for TV hours, so it's okay. I wanted to change it because the use of adverbs, adjectives, it's really important to use them. Now let me show you something. Okay, here, look, because you will need it. Look, for example, do you remember we talked about increase, decrease? Because now we need, if there is any, there are any fluctuations, so as you can see this way, or if we have rise, if we have fall, so there are different words that you can use, and that's really important to use them. You need to, the language of writing task 1 is different with writing task 2. In writing task 1, we have a formal language. Of course, in task 2 as well, we have writing, we have a formal language, but different words. But they are limited. I want to say that if you know them, you can easily use them in different diagrams, chart, table, for example, process. Okay, well, now let's keep going. Okay, we wrote our overview. It's time to write details. Main body 1, main body 2. Okay, how many main features do we have?
2.
So, how to divide my paragraphs? How to divide information into 2 paragraphs? I have to.
I don't know.
Okay, so that's really easy because we have 2 main features. 1 paragraph, main feature 1, 1 paragraph, main feature 2. So I divide them into 2 paragraphs. Okay, well, main feature 1, the peak time for TV audiences, okay, is in the evening. Now I'm going to give some details, okay? Well,
Okay.
let's write. We need to check. Okay, may I ask you 1 minute, please? Just 1 moment. Sorry. Okay, well, let's check. Okay. First of all, let's discuss television audiences. Okay, the first one, the first line here. Well, let's start from this point. Okay, the first and the beginning of my line here. Okay, and after that, so here, okay, and it goes up here, and then we have a fall. Okay, so let's discuss them. So the first point is here. Okay, what is this number? What is actually the percentage here? It's less than 10%. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, well, and now we have AM, noon, and afternoon, and midnight, evening. So different actually time of a day or night. Well, so as I can see, less than 10% of people here, less than up to, okay, here, I think. Then it goes up. Yeah, so we can say that actually this area follows the same trend, like, you know, all them, as you can see, okay, less than 10%. So we can say that less than 10% of people watch TV between, for example, between when?
6 a.m. to
Yeah, of course, very good. 6 a.m. to
12 a.m. or
no,
p.m.
no
I don't
p.m.
know.
of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Very good. And now let's see if we have an increase or no. So when we have an increase, so it's here, and suddenly we have an increase when,
12 to 2 p.m.
yeah, as you can see, no, let's see, okay, the same, look, here actually is the beginning of, you know, a sharp increase. Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes to the peak. So we can say that, but at 4 p.m., this figure increased rapidly, okay, reaching a peak of almost half the population. As you can see, it's about 50%. So we can say half the population when at 8 p.m. Yeah?
Yeah.
After this, what happened? The
Good
graph,
degrees.
yeah, of course, it's like falls. But how
Yeah.
to write it? I can say the graph records a sharp decline, decrease, no, decline in what? In viewers. So reaching a low of only a tiny person, as you can see, very small percentage, by when? 3 a.m. Yeah, it's about 3 a.m. The least number of people. So, as you can see, I divided. So you say, okay, we have different, look, times, but we don't need to mention all of them. The most important, when they are the same, for example, as you can see in this area, I have the same trend, so I don't need to not name them one by one. I don't need to mention. So I divide my graph into different parts. The first part, the second part that is important. So I say, okay, this one is not really important. Okay, I have a change here. Yeah, but it's not really important here. Actually, this here is the most important because it reaches my peak. And after that, again, this part is really important. Here, no. Okay, just, you know, the same as this one. So I don't need to repeat it again. Get it?
Yeah.
Well, now let's write it. Okay. let's write, oh, just let me erase this line. Okay, and here, now, okay, well, I can see. So I want to write, okay, exactly the same as we discussed. So I say less than, you help me, 10% of people watch TV between when?
6 a.m.
Of course.
to 12 p.m.
Okay, just between 6 a.m. and, we don't say 2. Between this and 12 noon or p.m. Okay, very good. But at when? The second trend is the
4.
beginning of the, yeah, of course, at 4 p.m. This number, this figure, what happened? Increased. Increase what? Rapidly, quickly. So, rapidly, I can say. Reaching, getting, it goes to the peak. Reaching a peak. A peak of what? Of, I need to add number. It's not 50, but it's almost 50. Of,
Almost 50.
almost, yeah, 50%. 50% is okay. You can write 50% or almost half the population. Okay. When at?
8 p.m.
Yes. After this, okay, as you can see, the graph records a sharp, rapid, sharp, because I use rapid, I don't want to use it again. So sharp decline, decrease, okay? In what? In years. Reaching, okay, a low of only a small percent, little one. So I can say tiny percentage by 3 a.m. My first paragraph is done. That's it. So let's move on the second paragraph. Okay, and the last paragraph of my essay. It's about radio. Main feature 2, the peak time for radio audiences. Okay, let's write, but because we discussed television, it's good to make comparison. So I want to begin my paragraph. I can say, okay, on the other hand, because I want to discuss radio. So I say radio, on the other hand, shows very different. As you can see, first pick, then false. So as you can see, these two are really different. This one is really different from this one. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So let's write. I write radio, on the other hand, because they are not the same and I want to make comparison, shows a very different trend. It's really different. How? First of all, the most popular time, okay? The peak. The most popular time for listeners. Okay, when?
Um, 8 a.m. or
Yeah,
9 a.m.
just, you know, it's just after. It's not, you know, let me draw a line. Here it's 8, but it's a bit after. So we can say just after when it's really close to 8, but it's not exactly 8. So I can say just after, just before. It means very close, but not exactly. Okay, so we can say for listeners was just after 8 a.m. When, let me see, it's about 28 or 27%. Do you agree? It's not 30%. I want to add figure here. So when I say around, because I'm not sure, I say around 27%, 27% of the population was listening. Okay, so why I say was listening, because you know, listening to actually a radio program, or for example watching TV, is something in action in progress, so it's okay to use past continuous. Okay, so the first one I discussed, my most important actually trend here. So this is the first one. Now, but this pic, Alex, it's a short pic. After that, we have fall. Do you agree? It's not a very big pic. Yeah, do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can say that after a brief, a short, after a brief pic. So what happened? Could you help me write it? What happened after a short pic to the number of listeners?
It's fall down.
Of course, how to write it. So, but actually tell me, if this drop, if this fall is sharp, rapid, or no, it's something like stable?
Oh, stable.
Yeah, of course it is. So I say after a brief pic, the number, okay, of listeners, or the numbers, okay, I want to say fell, I say dropped. Dropped steadily, steadily to, let's see, here, it's about maybe 2%. Yeah,
Yeah.
to, because we are not sure, we can say to barely 2% or 3%. Okay, but as you can see, we have fluctuations, fluctuations, this mean, okay, this way. Okay, so let's discuss. I say except for, or apart from, fluctuations at when, here, do you agree?
Yeah.
And here. So, but I'm not sure, I don't have actually the exact time. So I say at around 4 p.m. and it's not 10, I can say 10:30. Yeah, it's here, so 10:30. Agree? 10:30 p.m. Well, and this part, the last part of my line graph. So we can say the number or the percentage of listeners. There is no change here, so remained low, okay, when overnight. Overnight. But here, as you can see here, okay, actually we have a change after 6. Yeah? So, do you agree?
Yeah.
So, how to write it? Can you tell me? Could you help me to write the end of it?
But like a
Yeah. So, it's like, you know, here, actually, we can say up to 6 a.m. Actually the percentage of listeners remained low. It's low, but as you can see here we have a rise. Do you agree? So
yeah.
let's mention it. So it's low overnight before this. Here is the beginning. It's a rapid before.
6 a.m.
Yeah, just let's mention beginning or a rapid rise, or for example you can use another word that is essence rise, okay, from 6 a.m. okay to, for example, the 8 a.m. high, it goes up. So I can say my second paragraph is done. So I wrote my essay about this graph. It was difficult.
It's okay, I think so.
I think it's not difficult. Do you agree? When you know the structure, of course, it's not really difficult. Just, you know, the point is here. Maybe the most common issue among IELTS candidates is that they think that, okay, wow, I have 2 lines, I have 3 lines, so let's mention all details. No, just divide your lines into different parts. Just mention the most important ones. You don't need to talk and mention every details that you see. No, it's not essential. So here, for example, if I didn't have this one, the end of, for example, if my line ended here without the end part, I would say, or I would write, okay, for example, just this percentage, or for example, the percentage of listener remained low overnight, and that's it. I didn't mention it. But here, because I have another actually thing that I can see, oh, it's, you know, it's going up. So I need to mention it. It's important because definitely why I said rapid. This one's important. Look, when I have something like this, it goes up. So I say it's rapid. If I continue this line, I can see that, oh, it goes up. So let's mention it. Okay?
Okay.
What is this? Okay. Okay. Well, and so now if you have any questions related to this part, you can ask me. This is all about line graph. Now you know the structure, and there is nothing except actually this structure that we just wrote, and that's really easy. So I will send you another, just, you know, 2-line diagram, and I want you to try to write, no matter if you can't, just try, okay, 4 paragraphs, about 150 words. Just try to write and practice what we'll learn today, okay?
Yeah.
Well, so uh, do you have any questions related to this part?
No.
Okay, so just let's have a look at this. I will send the list of verbs and nouns, so you can, as you can see, look, plunge or plummet, just pay attention. Alex, when you want to say that your graph goes down or fall or decrease, decline is okay, drop is okay, fall is okay, but look at these two, plunge and plummet. When there is a big change, a big drop, a big fall, you say plunge or you say plummet. And when it comes to increase, rise, grow, double, okay, or this one, treble, climb, but rocket, big change, but increasing. So you say rockets. And we have noun, as you can see, fall, drop, decline, plunge, they can be used as noun, okay? And downturn or downswing, so you can use them. Here we have nouns for going up. If there is no change, means stable, level up. So as you can remain the same, remain stable, steadily. Steadily is an adverb that you can use, okay?
Yeah.
And constant, as I told you, is something like, if you see something like this is fluctuation. Fluctuate is verb fluctuation. In, for example, something is noun, okay? And position, for example, we used reach a peak, reach a low. For example, start, begin. You can use these verbs and noun. So I will send this list so that you can have them. And then next session, that is tomorrow, we'll discuss, because there are some words that I need to explain more. Okay?
Okay.
Well, dear Alex, time to go again. So we need to go. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. It was really good time with you. And have a great night. Sweet dreams.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.